Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. I didn't actually intend on making an Algorand video today. We've been covering Algorand quite a lot over the past week, and we're going to continue to cover Algorand pretty aggressively throughout the majority of 2023. Also, blockchains like Polkadot, Cosmos, you name it, we're going to cover it. This channel is intended to be your one-stop shop for all the latest things going on in the crypto space, and also market analysis as it is related to crypto. We've been a pretty good navigator of the markets. And today, what this video is going to be about, we've covered some amazing news coming out for Algorand and other blockchains over the past week. But I got a lot of comments really today with a lot of negativity and potential FUD thrown towards Algorand. And we're going to be being an Algorand FUD buster in this video, because there is a company out there that was essentially partnered with Algorand that seems to have now shut down. And this has led people to speculate on Algorand and potentially, I saw one comment saying, I came here to click on this video because I'm considering selling all my Algorand because of what's happened with Wyre. I'm here to sort of sort through that noise to tell you that as somebody who intends on investing a really large, well, I wouldn't say really large sum, but certainly for me, a large sum of money into Algorand, this doesn't bother me in the slightest. And I also want to cover the fact that Greyscale have actually delisted and decided that they do not want to hold Algorand in their Ethereum competitor smart contract portfolio or fund. So we're going to cover all that. And just quickly on the Grayscale thing, and do the maths, guys. When we come out and say that we're going to start buying cryptos and what cryptos we're going to start buying, we've been out the market all of last year pretty much. My Patreons that I have daily contact with have all done a similar thing, not through me giving them financial advice, but through me saying what I'm doing and then allowing people to make their own decisions. But I can almost guarantee that my portfolio is likely to outperform Grayscale's. Grayscale are a very vanilla, they invest in big projects. They do invest in some great projects. You can see some of the projects that they have within their Ethereum fund or Ethereum competitor layer 1 smart contract fund. But they've actually removed Algorand. And I think this is not very known about news, but I think people are thinking, why is this? It's probably just because of how it's performed, and the fact that it's actually gone down in terms of market cap in regard to some of these other projects, and it's lost ground. However, they have blockchains like Solana in there. I wonder what kind of a backroom deal was given there. So we're going to be doing a little bit of FUD busting in this video. Let's start with the main one, and that is this is kind of headline news. This came out today. It's all over the shop. From 1.5 billion to $0, crypto payment platform Wyre shuts down. Wyre will terminate services in January after a failed acquisition with Bolt in September. So I believe that these guys were a SPAC. Anybody that's not familiar with a SPAC is almost like a new way of ICOing. I've been in many groups. Some of them were actually paid ages ago that looked at SPACs specifically. And they paid groups, and this sounds contradictory, but I'm telling you the truth here from somebody who runs a Patreon, which is kind of like a paid group. Usually are full of shit. That's my experience. Some, don't get me wrong, do what they intend to. My Patreon, you guys can check it out. It is really a crypto investment focused Patreon. It's a group. The reason that it's paid is so that I can actually warrant spending the time with the individuals that are in it, the family that has been formed, and we can kind of try and work these markets out together. But essentially, the reason that this has had contagion and people were commenting this on my Algorand videos, maybe trying to FUD it, was because Wyre partners with, this is from September the 13th, 2021. So Algorand was a partner of, or Wyre had partnered or were partners with Algorand And this goes to read, Wyre's partners with Algorand, providing simple payment solutions for developers. Algorand developers will enjoy new integrations, including easy fiat to crypto on-ramping. So this was probably definitely a big deal at the time. However, the crypto space has come a long way, and there are the kind of on-ramping from fiat to crypto has been built up massively. So in my opinion, this is not massively significant. So all the partnership was that Wyre were looking to harness Algorand. So Wyre is pleased to announce our latest partnership with Algorand starting next month. Developers on Algorand blockchain will enjoy some of the Wyre's top offerings like checkout, card processing, and swap APIs. Thanks to this integration, developers will be able to offer their end users near instant payment processes solutions with applications. Not only do Wyre APIs support the native algo coin, but also, so I'm not worried about this in the slightest. This was just a product that was harnessing and utilizing Algorand, and actually in some ways maybe brought certain things to Algorand, because if you were building a dApp on Algorand, you could maybe incorporate Wyre's product into it. It has no bearing on Algorand as a project. It's just a partnership that essentially hasn't worked out. And there are so many of these in the crypto space, guys. I've actually been involved with some and spoken to. I've actually interviewed on my channel projects that I thought may do quite well, or they had interesting ideas that no longer exist anymore. This is the nature of the beast with an emerging technology. And the fact that, and let me just give you my standpoint on Algorand. I do own some Algorand, but you guys know that all of last year we took the majority of our crypto out. We held only a small amount of crypto and we held a lot of cash because we sort of foresaw what was coming. We really looked at the sort of macroeconomic landscape and really navigated the waters rather well. And I actually am still looking to buy back Algorand, which I have not done yet. So the FUD actually works in my favor. So I'm not doing myself any favors whatsoever by coming out and telling you that it's really rather insignificant. It might be significant potentially for the crypto space, but largely for Algorand as a project, it's just a partnership that hasn't quite worked out. And I'll read a little bit about what's actually gone on here. This was a tweet from somebody who I believe was working with them or was closely associated with them. Looks like Wyre just shut down their business. Everyone in our shared Slack channel disabled except the GC, hearing no severance. So I'm not really sure why this is such big news. Maybe because they partnered with Algorand, but in my opinion, it's just FUD. Like I say, keep FUDing Algo. Keep bringing. If the price comes down, guys, I would love nothing more. It's not really had much of an effect. Algorand's actually doing quite well after coming down to the lows. We haven't done a price analysis video on Algorand yet. I will be doing one. My patrons are getting a little bit of the lowdown on my thoughts on it at the moment. But like I say, not doing any favors for myself, looking to buy cheap Algorand by coming out and kind of saying, this is insignificant. Remember, we covered a lot of news this week. One of them was the fact that the Bank of Italy actually looked to essentially, or have now partnered with Algorand to essentially support digital sureties. It's major. There's also 30 other financial institutions that were surrounded by this. So in my opinion, remember Algorand already run a digital currency for the Marshall Islands. I'm extremely bullish on Algorand. Algorand's one of my top picks for this year. I will just share that with you guys right now. The next little bit of, it's not FUD, but something that I think was thrown at me, but it's a little bit lesser known, but it's worth talking about. Because what we do on this channel is we don't hide from criticism or news. We decipher it, and we critically think about it. It's such an emotional space. Most people in the crypto space are not investors. This is their first ever investment endeavors, and they don't know what comes with it. Now, I was right where you guys were in 2017. I'm still a noob compared to lots of the people I know, and they would probably still refer to me as an investment noob. But through the sort of grace of time, I've been able to essentially make enough mistakes to know what I am and am not doing moving forwards. So this was from Greyscale. Greyscale have essentially they offer crypto funds. Today we announced, this was yesterday, nobody really picked up on this, or certainly I haven't seen. This tweet only has 105 likes, so this is fresh news that no other real Algorand content creators would have probably spoke about. Today we announced the latest quarterly updates to the component weigh-ins for multi-asset crypto indexes. And this, of course, they're really just showing their adjustments. Algorand ALGO has been removed from the CoinDesk smart contract platform Select X Ethereum Index, Grayscale smart contract platform X Ethereum Fund, as of the 1st of the 5th, so the 5th of January this year. The fund's holdings consist of ADA, Solana, Matic, Dart, AVAX, and Atom. Let me tell you right now, if I had a fund, Solana wouldn't be in there. Of course, Cardano would, Polygon would, Polkadot would, and I'd even maybe consider Algorand, and of course Cosmos. Sorry, not consider Algorand, consider Avalanche, and of course Cosmos would certainly be in there. But I would have kept Algorand in. I think one reason for them taking Algorand out is because of how it slipped down the coin market cap. But we can, discuss all this at another point. But this, in my opinion, is largely insignificant. Yes, it's a little bit of buy pressure that is no longer there. But in my opinion, in the grand scheme of things, and we spoke about Metcalfe's Law in a video that we recently did. Algorand's on a positive trajectory, in my opinion. I think it's very regulatory friendly. I think it has the tech. It's got the team. It's got a lot going for it. The green blockchain, the first net sort of negative carbon or carbon neutral blockchain. They also may be one of the only blockchains that is going to be quantum resistance. So that's the FUD busted, in my opinion. I just wanted to share this with you. The Grayscale stuff is not really FUD. Hats off to Grayscale because they're very transparent. The GBTC sort of what's happening with Gemini and Barry Selbert. We have done a video on this and looked at GBTC and is it in any danger? I don't necessarily think it is. And I think that actually Grayscale, because they're regulated by the SEC and come under the SEC's jurisdiction and are registered, they'd have to probably, doesn't mean that they're not going to close the fund or anything, but they would probably, I would have assumed if they're SEC registered, although for those of you watching the Bernie Madoff documentary on Netflix, it's rather telling. I would assume that they would have to declare all the Bitcoin they have to back up GBTC. This just means that these guys aren't going to be looking to buy Algorand in order to essentially provide a fund and provide people to this. And I just want to make this point again. The reason Grayscale have done this is because Grayscale offer a fund, okay? So how Grayscale make their money is on the commission of that. So they often offer the traditional financial world a way to buy crypto in a regulated manner without having to go into the dark crypto space. So what they do is they are going to pick the coins that are the most popular and are biggest in terms of market cap because it shows the popularity there. Why haven't they picked BNB? Well, because of obviously BNB being attached to a exchange, there's a little bit of worry there in regards to it being a security. But generally, because Grayscale make their money on the fees, they'll go for what's popular and what people want to buy, and that's how this works. So the fact that Algorand's dropped down in market cap and is becoming, people are forgetting about it, and we're here to crusade that resurgence. This kind of explains why that's the case. And of course, the Wyre thing, it doesn't really bother me in the slightest. It's another crypto company, crypto startup that's failed. I've been here long enough to see literally hundreds of these. I'm sure I'll be long enough here to see tens of thousands fail. So that's all I've got for you in this video, guys. Still extremely bullish on Algorand. In fact, Algorand is one of my top picks for 2023. I'll share that with you guys right now, and we'll be doing more of an in-depth video on it. Enjoy your Saturday night, guys. Try not to watch the charts too much. I'll see you all in the next YouTube video.